He just glanced out the window while flying, but he was horrified to find a woman standing among the clouds at 30,000 feet. The woman even waved at him in an eerie manner. The man thought he was just hallucinating, but when he looked out the window again, the woman's silhouette instantly terrified him into collapsing. Nick screamed, losing his mind. He believed the airliner was haunted by an evil force. Nick could only shriek desperately. He wanted to escape from there immediately. He claimed there was a woman lingering outside the plane. He said the destination of this flight must be hell. The other passengers were instantly consumed by fear upon hearing this. After all, the plane was currently flying through the heart of a terrifying thunderstorm. Chilling flashes of lightning flickered outside the window. To calm the passengers' nerves, the flight attendant hurried to soothe Nick. She told him to go to the restroom and wash his face to cool down. But the moment Nick stepped into the restroom, that mysterious woman appeared in the mirror again. Terrified once more, Nick insisted the plane was definitely haunted. He desperately wanted the captain to find a place for an emergency landing. However, no one paid any attention to the ramblings of a madman. Seeing that Nick's emotions had completely spiraled out of control, several passengers moved in to forcibly restrain him. Then the flight attendant brought out sedative medication. The chaos finally subsided once they forced the pills into his mouth. But at that moment, no one on board realized that what the man said wasn't madness. The woman outside the window was real. Soon, the captain in the cockpit also sensed something was wrong. They had originally planned to fly out of these dangerous clouds in just 10 minutes, but over half an hour had passed, and the storm showed no signs of weakening. With no other choice, the pilot focused intently on the path ahead. At that same moment, strange things began happening one after another inside the cabin. The fresh airline meals were suddenly crawling with white maggots. This horrific sight made the passengers gag in unison. The flight attendants rushed over in a panic to handle it. Even the captain discovered that the plane's communication equipment was completely dead. No matter how many times they tried, they couldn't reach ground control. Just as the two pilots were sinking into unknown dread, a bolt of lightning struck the fuselage with precision. This caused the plane to stall instantly and plunge violently downward. Fortunately, the two of them fought with all their might to stabilize the aircraft. They pulled back on the yoke, allowing the falling plane to regain its balance. But due to the violent turbulence, a young female passenger's nose began to bleed from the impact. She got up and headed to the restroom to clean herself up. But unexpectedly, just as she locked the door, the shrill cry of a baby echoed in her ears. The overhead lights began to flicker dim and bright. Before she could react, a bloody gash appeared out of nowhere on her neck. Terrified, she frantically yanked at the door handle, trying to escape, but the restroom door felt as if it had been welded shut. The next second, a hand reached out toward her. When she opened her eyes again, she had been instantaneously transported to a grim warehouse. Then, a blurry figure drifted past her eyes. Just as she screamed in terror, she